What up, y'all? It's Duggar time. Welcome back. Welcome back. I just realized that I never introduced myself in any of these videos. I'm Lucky Gandalf. This is Duggar time. Welcome. Okay, we're gonna get started today with all the Duggar news that's been going on lately. Not a whole lot. There's been a couple of things happening, and I think we should discuss it. Number one, let's talk about the news that came out of the Seawalds today. Seawald fam. They posted today that Ben was ordained and installed as a pastor in a church. So how that works is, I guess both things happened at the same time. Usually a pastor is ordained and then later he's assigned to a church, but I guess both things kind of happened concurrently. So Ben was just ordained in a local church, I'm assuming in Arkansas, right? That's where they live. They didn't mention that they were moving or anything like that. I think that it's so exciting. I kind of figured this is what Ben was studying, even though I've never really been clear about what he's been in school for. But I think this is just the perfect career for Ben. Number one, Ben is, he's super thoughtful. He puts a lot of thought into what he does, and he's a thinker. And I think to be a pastor, you have to be able to really devote yourself to that. I think that everything that he's ever preached or shared about the gospel, the message that he's shared, that Jessa has shared, has always been one about grace and about how none of us are perfect, and about being a Christian is not about works and trying to get to heaven. It's about how Jesus paid our debt for us, and then just living in gratitude for that. So I'm really, really excited to see, what's going to happen with Ben and his pastoral career, and I'm excited to hear some of his sermons. And I'm super interested to know what denomination they're in. I know that he and his family are not Baptist or independent Baptist like the Duggars are. I think they're Calvinists, and if they're Presbyterian, that would be so cool because I'm Presbyterian. So Ben, let me know and I'll visit your church whenever I'm in Arkansas. It would be pretty neat. So I'm really happy. I think that Jessa is going to be a great pastor's wife. She loves children. She's going to be involved in the ministry, and so I'm just interested to see where this goes for them. And I think that it's been a long time coming. I think we've all been waiting for Ben, to be getting on with his career for a long time, and I'm sure he has too. And I'm sure he's very excited about this, and the whole family has to be. And I think that it'll just open new doors for their family. So super interested to know more about it. But congratulations, Ben. Now that we talked about Ben, we could talk about what happened with the Duggars, during Christmas time. They had, their gift exchange as usual, but, the news always centers around Jill. You ever notice that? You ever notice that anytime we're here, we have to bring up Jill? Jill's not even my favorite Duggar. She's number 19 of 19 on my list at this point, and but yet we're always talking about Jill, because every conversation online about when something happens or doesn't happen, there's a gathering and there's not a gathering, is whether Jill is there or not and why she's not there. So the Duggars had their annual Christmas morning. What the Duggars do on Christmas morning, maybe you don't know, is there's 19 children, and I think there's 20 grandchildren at this point, if not 19 or 20 grandchildren, okay, and the parents, and spouses, right? So what they do is they do kind of like a gift exchange, so that each person gets matched with another person, and then they just buy gifts for that one person. So they'll buy 5 or 6 gifts for that one person instead of having to give gifts to everybody, right? So in the morning, everybody's got their own house. They go and they have their own little Christmas in the morning, and then everybody at some point in the morning ends up at the big house, and then they organize things, they exchange presents. It's great. Jessa did a lovely video. She did a video last year on it, and then this year as well. So you could see both years, how it works with the gift exchange. So of course, Jill and Derek were not there, but that wasn't a surprise to anybody, because they had already said in their Q&A that they weren't gonna go. Now, look, man, people are always trying to say that this is because Jim Bob doesn't let her in the big house. Relax, okay? Because Jill herself, a few days ago, I guess she took off, like we all did. Took a little bit of break from social media, right? Enjoy the holidays. And then she posted about what they did over the holidays, okay? Or what they did not do over the holidays. So Lucky for you, I have a screenshot here. She posted, "We chose to spend Christmas Day at home as a little family. Then some of Derek's family came over later for lunch." We chose. We chose. Listen, with her war of words with the Duggars, she would have said something, or she wouldn't have said that. She wouldn't have said that they chose. If she's saying that, it's because they actually chose to stay home, and they actually chose not to go. And then here come the other people that they didn't go because they're social distancing. Stop. Okay? Anytime that you gather with somebody that is not in your household without a mask, you're not social distancing. And you're not following protocol. Whether it's with one person or with 20. Let's be real clear about that. So the fact that she's hanging out with the Dillards and not the Duggars doesn't make her any more of a saint for the cause of social distancing. No. She was with the Dillards over Christmas break. Like, she showed that they were on vacation. They went on a short little trip together. Like, she's with Grandma Dillard all the time. Stop. She's like everybody else, and all of you, and all of me that went and saw extended family over the break. We're a year in on this pandemic, okay? I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word on YouTube. We're a year in on it, okay? People are going to see their families for Christmas. It happened, okay? And it's gonna continue to happen. So, people make a big deal about the Duggars gathering. I get it, but at the same time, they have an enormous family, so you kind of got to take the good with the bad, right? So, like, if it's okay for, like, your extended family of 10 people to meet, it has to be okay for their immediate family of 40 people to meet, because that's their immediate family. Like, how do you decide who gets to come and see you? Which one of your children gets to come and see you on Christmas? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, only... We're gonna have Christmas, but only like Jana and Jason on down are allowed to spend Christmas. The rest of you have to stay in your own houses. Do not come and see me. I don't want to see my grandchildren on Christmas. I don't understand, like, the double standard when I know all of y'all are doing it too. Okay, I know that some people are staying home, especially because they have people in their family with compromised immune systems, and I get it. But, like, I've been back to work since October. I don't have a choice in the matter. I can't work from home. I take public transportation to work. I mean, like, I follow, like, every protocol that I can. But to say that I'm, like, self-isolating at home, no, I'm not. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite and call out people who aren't doing the same thing. I mean, life does go on. So let's try to stay safe. Let's do everything we can. Let's wear a mask. Let's not be in situations that we don't need to be in. But who knows how much longer we're going to be in this mess. So, I'm just saying. Just, you want to come after me, come after me. It's fine. But I'm just saying, like, people come after the Duggars, but they're not coming after Jill just because she's choosing to spend her time with a different side of the family. And, like, I don't get that at all. But whatever. Moving on. She did FaceTime with the family, though. If you watch Jessa's video, you will see that she FaceTimed, and I thought it was interesting that Jessa included that in the video. I was like, oh, I wonder if Jill's going to be okay with this. But then Jill posted it on her own social media as well. She posted a screenshot of her FaceTiming with James and the family. So, this was her choice, and that's okay. Like, it's totally cool that, like, she didn't want to go over there. I'm telling you that it has to be such an awkward situation with Derek and the rest of the family that I don't blame the Duggars for wanting to stay away. I don't blame Jill for wanting to stay away. It's just got to be an awkward situation at this point. So, like, it's not a big surprise to me that they didn't go. But, the FaceTiming was nice. And then, lovely little picture she posted of Jana, our Jana, and Jer, as they call him, coming to drop off the Christmas gifts. So, she puts here, Jana and Jer Which, by the way, she tags Jana, but she doesn't tag Jer. Jer does have an Instagram. So either she doesn't know Jer's Instagram, and she's not friends with him there, or, you know, as usual, she's just trying to get Jana's attention by tagging her and everything. Jana and Jer stop by to drop off Christmas gifts, ... We do a gift exchange on the Duggar side, so we don't have to buy for a zillion people, LOL. This picture. You guys, tell me what you think about this picture. I know Jana's face by now. She's my favorite person on social media. And I'm counting on. Jana Marie Duggar. I know her face by now. And that is her fake smile face. And Jill also had a fake smile face. And they're like this. And it's just not natural. I think it's funny that they sent Jana to do the gift thing. To drop off Jill's gift. I think... Y'all think they watch my videos and when I talk about that there's like a rift between Jill and Jana and they're like, you see, no, it's not Jessa the only one that goes over there. Jana too. If you watch my videos, I mean, come on, Jana. Send me a DM on Instagram. Tell me what's up. Don't mind. Just watch my videos all the time. Listen. I think that we talk about damage control. That's damage control. Like, that Jana was over there. I can't imagine Jana being like, yes, Daddy, please, let me go and take the presents to Jill. Haven't seen her in such a long time. Really want to. I don't know. I'm telling you, my gut tells me that there's a rift there. And then how coincidental, the first picture we get of Jill and Jana in, like, forever, and Laura's out of town. Just saying. More to this story than we know. I'm gonna leave it at that. Alright, Jana's birthday's coming up. Jana's birthday's coming up this week. It's the 12th. Jana and John David. Jana and John David, their birthday's coming up this week. They turned 31, and how exciting, how emotional. Jana's almost as old as I am. She's never gonna catch up, though. Listen, over under on the birthday posts, okay? Over under on if Jana herself is going to post something, either for herself or her favorite brother, John. I don't think Jana's going to post. Over under on if Laura is going to write another super emotional birthday message for Jana. She's definitely not. No. So much has changed since last year. So much has changed since this time last year. I want to know if there, even in her story, if that's gonna pop up. Like, hey, happy birthday, buddy. Like, she posted a happy birthday for Jessa, but not for Ginger. Laura's gone silent. Laura's tired of us. Laura's done with us dissecting her posts. Laura's not gonna do a happy birthday to Jana. Over under on the Duggars. You were here this whole time. Over under on the Duggars doing a happy birthday post for Jana and John. I think they will. I think they will because they did for Jet and Jer. They've been doing birthday posts a lot lately. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get any pictures of her celebration though. Jana has not posted since Christmas Day. And neither is Laura. Today's the 10th. 16 days without a post. Somebody asked me on my fan page, they said, what is your Christmas wish? I said, my Duggar Christmas wish? My Duggar Christmas wish is that Jana and Laura would post more. Like once a week would be ideal. Hasn't come true yet. We all right. We all right. All right. So another news. An article comes out in the Sun, and Without a Crystal Ball reports on this. And I think that the article itself has a source in it and it's nonsense. Okay, so the premise of the article in The Sun, which you shouldn't believe half of the things you read in The Sun anyways. The premise of the article is that Jana is trapped at home and is not allowed to leave, and is not allowed to go on a date, and is not allowed to use a dating app, and it's just a ridiculous article. Anyways, it sounded like as if like someone like me or you who has like no knowledge of the Duggars, where I'm like, oh yeah, I think that Jana and Jill have a rift. Like, I don't have any proof of that. It's just a hunch. I'm telling you guys, it's a hunch. I'm like, I feel like something's going on between them. I don't know anything about it. Like, that's what it sounded like. Like, if they were to come and interview me and be like, what do you think? Can Jana leave her house? Like, that's what it sounded like. It did not sound like somebody that actually knew the family. It sounded like somebody that knew of the family. So I didn't give it any credence at all. But I especially didn't give it any credence because of this little quote, and this is just spectacular. Listen to this part of the article. It's like a horribly worded sentence. Run-on sentence. Fans have dubbed her Cinderella Duggar, while she has also addressed blah 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 after viewers suggested that she may be dating her close friend Laura DeMacy, who moved to Oregon in 2019. Did we not just address this in a video, like, recently? Did we not just address how Laura has put in her profile that she has never, and I've never lived in Georgia? Because these articles kept saying that her best friend moved to Georgia because Jim Bob made her. Don't worry, because now she moved to Oregon. Like, what? Y'all. Oregon. Maybe you guys don't know. Maybe they don't know because The Sun is based in the UK. So maybe. Here's America the Beautiful over here. Laura's from Indiana. She's never lived in Georgia. She hangs out in Arkansas. This article says that she moved all the way to Oregon. I can't anymore. Like, you're really gonna take this article seriously? No. Sometimes I do take some of these articles seriously. Like the one in the Hollywood Gossip that it was like, there's like a source who was talking, the one that came out a few months ago, was talking about Jana, like, but like they said things that have been proven. Like they talked about like the app, like the Covenant Eyes app. Like there are certain things that they said that you're like, yeah, and that checks out. There's nothing but like that checked out in that article, and it was, don't believe it. Don't even give them clicks. Like I already clicked it for you and told you that they said that Laura moved to Oregon. So that already disqualifies everything. Done. Don't believe it. All right. Last piece that I want to cover here. Summer vacation. So Ginger, like when the year was over, last couple of days of 2020, posted like a recap, like something that happened like each month. Probably was a neat thing to do. Like a highlight of each month, right? So she, she's going through, and I remember I messaged my friend, Ginger fans, if you don't follow her on Instagram, you probably should. So I messaged her, because like she posted like the January picture, I'm like, this woman is about to bless your feed. And so then she messages me 2 minutes later, like, dude, she just blessed you. And sure enough, she did, because in June, there's a picture of the whole squad. Jana, Laura, Jessa, Ben, Jeremy, Ginger, plus John, Abby. Didn't I tell you they were in the extended squad? Austin, Joy, and Jeremy's parents. So, Mr. and Mrs. Volo. All on an excursion. Like, they're all somewhere in a vacation. No, doesn't say where. They didn't have masks on. So, like, we're like, me and my friends are over here, like, trying to dissect, like, where are they? So, like, I'm, like, going back to, like, the post, like, people had posted, like, before, and I was like, there's no way they're in California, like, standing on a street corner, posing for this picture all together without masks. Like, that wouldn't have happened, like, in California. So, I don't think they were in Cali. And Joy's there, and Joy's, like, super pregnant, so I don't think she would have made the trip. So we're going back and forth. I think they were in South Carolina. That's my guess. Why? Okay, so this summer, at some point, Laura posted a picture, and she was like, like on a boogie board, like in the water, and then Jana posted a picture a few weeks later where, you know, because they don't post at the same time where they are, but we all know where they are. Okay, so we all know they were together, drinking like a coconut, and then like behind her is like a pool, and then behind that is like the Atlantic Ocean. So anyways, around that same time, Laura was wearing a shirt, she was biking, and it said like the name of like some island in South Carolina. And so I think maybe that's where they were, because then in the picture that Ginger posts, she's wearing that same shirt, and it looks like Ben is wearing it too. So I think it was just like some kind of little extended squad vacation. I'm so emotional about this. I'm so emotional about this because we didn't get any other pictures besides this. I know these people like their privacy, but like even like Jessa and Ben didn't post about it. Like Jeremy and Ginger didn't, Austin, like it was like everybody decided to keep this little excursion a secret. Odd that all of the couples involved, and Jana and Laura, would decide not to post anything about it and keep it a secret. Super interesting. And like Jana and Laura have like curly hair, like they had like a perm, like what is going on? Like it was like a blast from the past. Like I need more pictures from that day, but I'm never gonna get them. Maybe somebody for Jana's birthday can gift me a post of one of those pictures. Laura, I'm talking to you. Listen. We deserve those shots. We don't, but we'd really like them. So, you know, if we could have more pictures from that vacation, that'd be great. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna leave you guys with a Bible verse today from the book of Acts, chapter 15, verses 8 through 11. So God, who knows the heart, acknowledged them by giving them the Holy Spirit, just as he did to us, and made no distinction between us and them, purifying their hearts by faith. Now therefore, why do you test God by putting a yoke on the neck of the disciples, which neither our fathers nor we were able to bear? But believe that through the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, we shall be saved in the same manner as they. There's a lot of us versus they going on right now in the world. There's, you know, for a lot of reasons. And it's not only in the world, it's also in the church as well. Us and them, and why we're saved and they're not, and what makes us better Christians than them. So I just want to encourage you guys that, you know, Paul's talking about the Gentiles here, but it can apply to anything that's going on right now as well. There's no distinction between us and them. We are saved by grace, lest any should boast. So I hope that encourages you guys today. Oh, I'll show you my sneakers before we go. These are Yeezy 380 Peppers, and I did a lace swap on them. These are Slickies, reflective laces. But these are like some of my favorite shoes. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys are subscribed so you can hear more Duggar time. And I hope that, you know, you don't mind my Christmas decorations back here. Listen, we're Cuban. We celebrated Three Kings this week. Not really. We didn't celebrate Three Kings this week. But we'll probably not take the decorations down until the end of the month because we're lazy. That's what she said. Okay, guys. So be blessed. If you like this stuff, click like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, ring the bell. And I'll see you guys next week. Till next time. Be blessed. Peace. Hey everybody, welcome to Duggar time. I know a lot of you guys follow me over on Instagram, and you guys have been used to my Duggar rants every Tuesday after counting on, so I figured why not start a little YouTube channel where we can talk about our favorite family, the Duggars. Are you guys ready? I'm ready. My name is Lucky Gandalf. You can follow me on Instagram. If you don't, I'm gonna link that below in the section with the information. And I'm just gonna get started because I think that every week we should have a little Duggar conversation. Me, you guys, whoever wants to join in. So let's get started. I'm not even sure where the camera is. I don't even think I'm looking at the camera. I'm just looking at myself. Let's go. We're gonna talk about the last 2 episodes of Counting On. We're gonna unpack those a little bit. We're We're not gonna worry about the cars passing by outside, all right? We're gonna unpack the last 2 episodes of Counting On. I'm going to give you my opinions, what I noticed, what I saw, and let's just get started. So, 2 episodes ago on Counting On, we had Jana's Secret Garden, which is a very interesting name. And so, in that episode, they kind of just built her a greenhouse, which was pretty cool. And yes, I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all appreciating Jana, Duggar family, because Jana is the queen. We know that here in this house. We are hashtag Team Jana, okay? So there's a lot of things that I loved about the episode. Number 1, that they built her the greenhouse. Number 2, they included Laura in the episode. Oh my gosh, which she's been like behind the camera the whole season. And there was a lot of like interesting pairings throughout the entire episode. So we've got Abby and Anna, right? They were at the beginning of the episode. They didn't show them together too much, but they had like a bunch of moms at Jessa's house. And there was like really interesting pairings that I would kind of like to see together a little bit more. Abby and Anna are kind of like the same age, so I'm kind of interested to know a little bit more about their relationship. Also, we had Jessa and Laura hanging out and helping with the greenhouse idea. I'm sure this whole idea was their idea. I think it was kind of Jessa and Laura's like little brainchild, and we don't get to see their friendship a lot, even though they obviously do hang out a lot. I'd like to see that more. We get to see Jana and John, our favorite twins, right? Hanging out in Knoxville. It was really nice. I loved all of that. There's some things I did not like about this episode, okay? Boo bringing up Jana's single life again for the 20,000th time. I don't know. I guess this brings in viewers. It doesn't. I don't see how this brings in viewers. Like, we're all tired of it. We're all tired of hearing it, and Jana's like literally done with answering these questions. She was done the entire season. You do something nice for her by building her this greenhouse, but then you make her feel awkward for the majority of the episode, okay? Life is about so much more than just being in a relationship, and Jana's obviously a very private person, and if she was in a relationship, if she is in a relationship, she's not going to tell you about it right now. When she's ready, she's going to tell you. She's either not in a relationship or not ready to tell you, and it's none of your business anymore. Leave her alone. Like, there's so much more going on with her life, and I think they kind of wanted to steer the episode in that direction, but it always comes back to, why are you single? That's super annoying, okay? So, now, obviously, it makes her uncomfortable to have that conversation. That hairdresser scene was so awkward. I understand that hairdressers are nosy by nature, but I also understand that TLC gave her those questions to ask Jana. Jana was so uncomfortable. Like, I felt uncomfortable for her. I felt awkward for her. Please stop doing this. Like, her life is about more than this, and, you know, there's a lot of other things that you can cover. Somebody is behind me turning the faucet on, so I'm just gonna wait. One moment! Now, the episode also gets into her new business, right? She has a new business called Arbor Acres. Guys, I'm super hyped about this. I'm super hyped because you know that she wants to be like the next Joanna Gaines. I'm very excited. Next year I'm buying a house. The whole house is going to be Arbor Acres, decorated by Jana. I love it. I love the idea. I can't wait for this website to launch, okay? Now, somebody, somewhere, maybe on Reddit, did a little digging, and they found the Arbor Acres page, okay? Or at least what we believe is the Arbor Acres page for Jana's business, okay? So it's got like a little coming soon on it. It's got a very cute little logo, and then it says this. Pay attention. Welcome to Arbor Acres. We are passionate about finding beauty in our surroundings, gathering people together, and all things creative. We hope this becomes one of your favorite destinations for ideas that make you excited about life and all the good it has to offer. Stay tuned. So, here's the thing. I don't think that Jana is in this business by herself. Now, I know this isn't groundbreaking, like, information. The business is solely registered to Jana Marie Duggar from Town, Arkansas. Okay, but in the episode, there's a couple of things that she said, like when John was asking, what are you going to do with the business? She said a couple of times, we want to do this. Okay, so I didn't really think anything of it, but then somebody found this page, and I see it, and I hear this phrase, passionate about finding beauty in our surroundings. And I know I've heard it before. I know I've read it before. My brain starts going and I remember where I read it before, okay? So Laura, her BFF, right? She had written her a birthday post when Jana turned 30 in January. And it said this, listen carefully. Happy birthday, Jana. For all the years we have been friends, you have always been perfect at sharing your talents and caring for others. You bring out such beauty in all your surroundings and make any situation a better one. We all love and appreciate you so much. Happy birthday and many blessings for the decade ahead. I'm cheering for you. It's like super sweet. Like every other year, she writes like a birthday post. Like I guess like it's like a pattern, right? So check out, she wrote another one a couple of years ago, talking about how much do we love Jana on a scale from 0 to spicy chicken wings. Wings from Sonic, #100. Jana is our favorite adventurous homebody, the queen of snacks and funny stories, and the kind of sister/friend that none of us deserve. Then a couple years ago, she wrote this one. It said, happy 26th birthday to my friend who has a heart of gold, a love for cheese that rivals my own, and is far more talkative and funnier than she lets on. Faithfulness and generosity are two qualities that have stood the test of time in this girl. So glad you were born. Happy birthday, Jana. Dude, this chick, Laura, isn't she the sweetest? Isn't she like the nicest person ever, like to write these things about her friend? Listen, how is this girl not married yet? Somebody marry this girl. Do me the favor. Listen, Jedediah, I need you to focus. Just give me a second, Jedediah. Bear with me, okay? Look, I'm just saying, if your sister's not interested, I think you should capitalize on this. Like, listen, I know that she's like kind of old enough to be your mother, but like bear with me, like stay with me, Jed. You want to be a politician, okay? You need a trophy wife, all right? This girl, she's smart, she's sweet, she's talented. Your family knows her, okay? All of these things make her like good wife material. On top of that, you know, like she still has a couple childbearing years left in her. I know it's important to you guys. She can still give you a couple of kids, okay? Hold on, somebody's opening the door. I'm still getting used to this new YouTube thing. Bear with me, guys. Okay, so I just want you to think about it because, like, look, I'm sure, like, she's cool with your family, so I'm sure she's gonna let like Jer like live up in the attic still, and like I'm sure that you'd be cool with like Jana living down in the basement, and that way you guys can both keep your best friends around. I mean, like, just consider it, Jed. Okay, just saying, they'd be cute together. I'd ship them. They're cute together. A lot of people on Instagram do, but they say that they're just friends. I mean, Laura's just friends with all the Duggars. We're just gonna leave it at that. Okay, but anyways, I think I just went on a tangent. Let me bring it back, okay? We'll bring it back to that original post where she says that Jana is perfect at bringing out such beauty in all her surroundings. Let me go back to Arbor Acres. It says they're passionate about finding beauty in their surroundings. Like, you're not fooling anybody. Laura definitely wrote this little blurb here for Arbor Acres. She probably also designed the logo. She's a graphic artist. Why do I think that she's in on this business with Jana? Okay. So here's what I'm thinking, okay? There's another piece of little evidence, right? I don't have the exact dates, but it was like at some point this summer. I've told you before, Laura's a graphic designer by trade, right? So on her Instagram, it said designer, right? Like under your name, like it kind of says your profession, right? A lot of people have like public figure there because they think they're important. Okay, and hers said designer. And then at some point in this summer, it changed and it says entrepreneur, which means she's starting her own business. So I think that maybe she might not be like on the title of the business, but I do think that this is the most likely scenario. She's been in Arkansas like for a couple of months now straight, you know, save for like a couple of trips back to where she actually lives, but she's been in Arkansas a lot. She's also been doing some construction work with the Duggar boys with, I believe, J&J Services, which is, you know, the business with James. I don't know who else, which other Duggars are in it. Buildmaster Construction is Jason's business, but I believe that she's been working with J&J Services. She was wearing the shirt the other day in the video that she came out with Jessa. Also, she posted a couple of times about her tiling, doing like tile work. Not just once, she did it like, I think 2 or 3 times. And Jana also posted her doing some tile work and working with her brothers. So it kind of looks like they're trying to get this business off the ground, but they're also doing other work like to supplement that income, which makes a lot of sense because starting a business is kind of hard, right? You need some capital to do that. So maybe they're getting in some work with their brothers to like get some extra income. If I could be frank with you guys for a moment, it reminds me a bit, because I'm watching 19 Kids and Counting all over again from the very beginning. I spent this summer, in quarantine watching Counting On from the beginning. Now I finished that. Now I'm like going back to 19 Kids and Counting. I'm remembering, because I've been a Duggar fan for a really long time, about when Ben was courting Jessa. So when Ben is courting Jessa, Ben lived in Hot Springs, which is a little bit far away from Tontitown. So at some point, Jim Bob offers Ben a job. And he says, Ben, why don't you come move out here? You can live in our guest house, right? And then you can be my personal assistant, I guess. Like, he's essentially his indentured servant, right? You want to get to know my daughter? Now you can spend more time with her. We can keep an eye on you and kind of get to know you a little bit better. It gives you an opportunity to make an income. And Ben is kind of still on Jim Bob's payroll in some way or another, because now he kind of tutors little kids while he's still in school. This feels a little bit like that, right? He's like, Laura's like kind of like working in the family business and doing like random odd jobs for them. I don't know. It could just be, like I said, to supplement the income, but I get a little like Jacob and Rachel vibes from it, but okay, maybe not. But he's never had like his daughter-in-laws or his future daughter-in-laws work for them. It's just been his son-in-law, Ben. So maybe there's no connection there, but just something that I noticed. All right, so this whole business is a good thing, and if they're working on it together, it is a good thing for both of them. They're best friends, Jana and Laura are, and you know what? Like, all the power to them if they're going into this business together. I think that we should support this business, whether you like the Duggars or not, okay? If you're a Duggar fan, I think you should support Jana, right? I think we all who are Duggar fans, we're buying what she's selling, okay? But if you're not, if you're a snarker, and what you really want is for her to get out of that situation, the only way she's gonna do that is if she's able to make money. So I think we should support Jana and her business endeavor. I think that there's a lot that we don't know about Jana. I think that she's a private person. She's not one to like spit out her views and talk about what she stands up for politically or in anything. She's a very private person, and I respect that. I think that she was thrown into the public eye as a teenager, and I think that she values her privacy, but this is kind of like the one arena where she's becoming more public about showcasing her creativity, and I'm all about it. So anything that we can do to support Jana and kind of tell TLC this is what we want to see. We want to see her business. We want to see how she is with her nieces and nephews and takes care of them, and how she takes care of her garden and her siblings and all the things that she does for her parents. That's what we should be focusing on with Jana. The parts of her life, obviously, that she wants to share with us. Her relationships are not what she wants to share with us, or lack thereof are not what she wants to share with us. Leave the girl alone. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the last episode, which was a quarantine courtship. Okay, that episode. Again, Laura's like recording, okay? She can't come out on TV, but we saw her a couple of times, blessings, and heard her voice. Now, that's number 2. Why do I talk so much about Laura? Because we're also Team Laura in this house, by the way. We like her. We're big fans of her in this house. We're fans of Jana, we're fans of Laura, we're fans of Jessa, Ginger, okay? So we like to see that click on the show. I think I talked about the other day on my Instagram stories. They are the click. Okay, but I'm gonna get into that a little bit on next week's episode, actually, when I talk about other endeavors of the Duggars. Quarantine courtship. Essentially, they're making masks for each other. They do a birthday drive-by for Abby, whatever. The crux of this episode, we were all fooled. All of us. Me, you, them, us, we, every pronoun here was fooled with that episode. Because the whole season, everybody was very convinced that they were going to be announcing James Duggar and Lauren Caldwell in a courtship. Actually, at first people thought it was Jason and Lauren Caldwell. Then people thought it was James because actually pictures came out of James and Lauren Caldwell. Can we just go? Hold on a second. This reminds me of something else. Like, Duggar fans really like to be like, anytime anybody's in a picture with anybody that is not in the family, like all of a sudden they're in a relationship. People were like convinced beyond measure a couple of years ago that Laura was in a relationship with John David. Then John David got married and people were like, huh? Okay, and then people were convinced that Jana was in a relationship with this guy Caleb because he was in like 2 pictures with the Duggars on the opposite end of the table. Like, Jana's sitting over here, Caleb's all the way over there with different people. People at some point speculated about Nathan Bates. Obviously, everybody thinks about Lawson with Jana. So this is like ridiculous because anytime anybody like snaps a picture with somebody else, they're like, oh, they must be dating. Not really. So here we did that with James and Lauren Caldwell, right? And they could very well be a thing. They could just very well be getting to know each other. Now, what we see is in this episode is not that. Took us all by surprise. It's Justin with this girl named Lauren Spivey. It's taken me a long time to get to say that last name correctly. I have a lisp, okay? But not only because of that, I want to say Spivey. I don't want to say Spivey. Okay, Spivey, Spivey, okay, fine. Spivey. It's gonna take me a little bit. This is actually pretty cute. They make a really cute couple. After that, all these pictures start coming out when we realize they've been kind of talking to each other, dating-ish for about a year. I mean, they've gone on vacation together. Justin spent time with them in Texas. It's been a while that they've been kind of hanging out, but Justin is still 17. So I understand their reticence to kind of say that they're in a courtship. Now, somebody mentioned this on Instagram. I believe it was Fundy Mama Snark, who mentioned that they had heard somewhere that Justin like that the Duggars were not on board with him getting into a courtship so early, and that Justin kind of threatened to elope, and was like, if you guys don't let us come out and be in a courtship, like, we're just gonna run off together. I don't know if that's true. That's just a rumor that I heard somewhere. But what I do see is that they are handling their courtship differently, okay? Their courtship does not look like the typical Duggar courtship. Justin's got his arm around her. They're drinking out of the same cup. They look very close. I don't think they're going to wait until they're married to have their first kiss, okay? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think normal people in the real world, a lot of normal people date when they're 17. You know, I didn't, but a lot of people do. Okay, a lot of Christian people date when they're 17. That's a normal behavior for people. Why people are shocked is because they hear the word courting and they're like, oh, because they are intending to get married. And maybe they are, but some people do get married straight out of high school when they're 18. That's the reality of life. Do I recommend that to everybody? No, but if it looks like they're not going to go to college and they're just going to go straight into the workforce, hopefully they have decided what they want out of life. If they both want a lot of children, if what they're really interested in is being married and being with each other, like, hey, life is short. Nobody knows when you're going to die. So be with the people that you love. I'm all about that, dude. Like, I wish nothing but the best for Claire and Justin. But I do think that they're going to kiss before they get married, and I don't think that that would be the worst thing in the world, okay? Like, the Duggars have always contended this. They've always said, oh, it's their decision. Go back and watch Jill and Derek's wedding. Watch Ben and Jessa's wedding. Watch Josh and Anna's wedding if you want. From the very beginning, for all of them, the parents always say, Josh and Anna have decided to wait until marriage for their first kiss. Jill and Derek have decided to wait until their wedding day for their first kiss. They've decided these courtship rules for themselves. Now, okay, whether you believe that or not, I do believe that it is their decision as a couple to do this. I don't believe they're being forced to do this. But I do believe that when somebody has told you your whole life that something is right or wrong, you're going to be likely to stick to those convictions, especially as a young adult, okay? You haven't really developed your own worldview yet, okay? So, yes, they made their own decisions based on information that was given to them their whole life. As the years have gone on, there's been more outside influence into the Duggars bubble than there was when Josh was courting Anna, or Jessa, or Ben was courting Jessa, or Derek was courting Jill. Their world has opened up. Number one, they've been on a TV show. Number two, there are people that are living with them in their house that are worldly, in a sense, right? Or who have come into their family who have different worldviews, okay, right? Laura spends a lot of time in the house. Elijah spends a lot of time in the house, even though they're not, they don't live there. Technically, they're there a lot, and obviously they had different upbringings. Jill marries Derek, who grew up worldly as well, a Christian, but in a completely different kind of upbringing. Jeremy brings a different upbringing as well, and has world experience as a soccer player. So there's a lot of people in their lives as influences now for the younger kids that might just bring a different perspective to them. There's also like the use of technology. Think about Hanny and Jenny. Like, I'm sure they have phones. Like, I'm sure they see TikTok. You know, like they're growing up differently than their older siblings did. And I feel like also there was a lot of pressure on the older siblings, especially after everything that happened with Josh. I think like there's like a core of older siblings like Jana, John David, Jill, Jessa, Ginger, and Joseph in particular. I'd say those six, that they really had to carry the torch, and still do, as the oldest siblings, to be good examples for their younger siblings, right? Because Josh crapped the bed. So I think that they felt higher than normal pressure to do things the way that their parents saw, right? To set a good example for their younger siblings. And then I think there's like this middle group, right? From like Josiah, maybe down to like Jen and Jer, that they're kind of like in between. And they, you know, most of them haven't gotten married. Some of them have, where they're kind of following what their older siblings did, but they're kind of in between. And then like the younger siblings, like from really like Jason down, who are being raised differently, who have grown up famous, who maybe have different perspectives on life, and I think might do things differently, and they don't feel that pressure. I don't think Justin feels the pressure to set an example for the world about purity and how you should wait until you're married to have your first kiss. For that matter, I don't think that John and Abby waited until they were married to have their first kiss. I don't have proof of that, but I think that John was 28 years old and not living in the house. And I think that they probably kissed before they were married. It's not a big deal. But that they probably said for the show, hey, you know, make sure you're setting a good example for your brothers and sisters. You're setting a good example for all of America and all the little Christians that are watching. Say this. And I don't think that Justin, his personality is just different. And I feel that he's in that younger generation who feels maybe a little bit more entitled to his own opinion. It looks like the Spivies are a bit more progressive. I've seen pictures of Claire wearing pants. Obviously, we know it's not a big deal, but it is not, you know, to the extreme of, you know, the Duggars wearing skirts. He spends a lot of time there with them, and it looks like, you know, her family's the one taking those pictures, and they have no issue with the proximity. They have no issue with the age difference. I feel like Justin will move down to Texas and be closer to Claire's family. Maybe being around them, he's gotten another, you know, worldview and another world experience about, you know, you can be a Christian and you can set a good example and not necessarily believe all of that, and not necessarily believe that you have to wait for your first kiss. So if I had to put my money on it, I'd say that they're probably going to have their first kiss before marriage. And good, because maybe it'll let them have a longer engagement. Hey, I mean, as long as you're not going further than that, you know, if you have a chaperone with you, and, you know, you want to kiss your girlfriend on the cheek, you know, it makes it, you don't have to be in such a rush to get married because you're just waiting for physical contact. You know, you're 17 years old, you want to kiss a girl. I get it. So those are my thoughts on the quarantine courtship. So here's what I'm going to do. Before I sign off, I'm going to give you two things. I'm going to give you, number one, an unpopular opinion. I'm going to do this every week. I'm going to put an unpopular opinion here. I'm going to state it for the record, and you can tell me down below if you agree or if you disagree. And next week when I start off the show, I'll expound a little bit about my thoughts on this unpopular opinion. My unpopular opinion is about Anna. And I think it's an unpopular opinion. I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me. But I think that Anna knows exactly what she's doing. I think that she's not being forced to stay. And I think that she is doing what she believes is in the best interest of her children. And I think that she's getting out of this what she wants. And I think Anna knows exactly what she's doing. I don't think that she's brainwashed at this point. I think we need to give her a little bit more credit. And I don't entirely disagree with her actions. That's my unpopular opinion. I mean, it's not going to be popular. Disagree with me. Also, I just wanted to share with you, last thing before we go, I want to share with you a verse in the Bible from Galatians 5:22 through 23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things, there is no law. There's no law against love, guys, okay? So if you're here from my Instagram, if Instagram brought you here, leave a comment down below. If you guys want me to talk about something else about the Duggars, leave a comment down below. If you don't agree with my opinions, leave a comment down below. Promise I'll respond to all of them. Leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. Have a great day, guys. Oh, you guys want to see my shoes? I love shoes. These are what I'm wearing today. Good match. Here's my hat. Here's my fit. Let's go, guys. I'll see you guys next week. Peace. Coming at you quick, coming at you live after a very, very good Patriots football game. I'm still dressed for the game, guys. It is a good day today in the Gandalf house. It's coming to you from a very festive Gandalf house. It is Christmas time and it is Duggar time, guys. I am so excited to do this video. It's going to be a fast video, but I just have so much to say because you know when Jana and Laura give me content, I have to come here so fast. Before we get to that, let's review about what happened in Duggarland this past week. Not a whole lot, but number one, we got a baby. Well, Ginger and Jeremy have a baby. They have a baby. Her name is Evangeline Jo Volo. Okay, Evangeline Jo. Evie Jo. I mean, Jeremy referred to her as Evie Jo, and a lot of people are saying it's too close to Evelyn. Guys, there's 19 children, and if you don't think that they're gonna have some similar names, there's some issues. Okay, like, listen, Jo has a son named Garrett David, and Josh has a son named Mason Garrett. And who else? There's a John David. There's an Israel David. I mean, names are going to overlap in this family a lot. Because with 19 people naming kids, I mean, it's bound to happen. So I love the name Evangeline. I'm happy for Jeremy and Ginger. Baby's absolutely gorgeous. She's healthy. Ginger, it looks like, is having a smooth recovery. God bless them. We're happy for Jeremy and Ginger. We love you guys. Okay, what else happened? Oh, the Caldwell girl. Lauren. Okay, Lauren is the sister of Kendra Caldwell, and she was engaged to some dude named Titus, right? And we all thought she was gonna get engaged to James, right? And people were thinking, oh, and then Justin's courtship came out of nowhere, and then this girl gets engaged all of a sudden to Titus, but now all of those pictures have disappeared, and a lot of people are speculating that this engagement has been called off. Kind of wild. It was a surprise engagement. If you remember when the Caldwells first announced it, they said, wow, a surprise engagement at the beach, and they kind of sounded like they were caught off guard. So I'm thinking that Lauren was probably caught off guard by all of it. And what if, she was really hanging out with James quite a bit this past summer. What if she really was getting to know James and like James, and all of a sudden, like, Titus swoops in here and is like, hey, I like you, and then all of a sudden proposes to her and, like, catches her off guard. And most women, like, when they get proposed to, they say yes. And so I think that's kind of what happened with Lauren, and maybe she figured out, like, maybe this isn't what I want. Again, this is speculation. Okay, it's speculation because they haven't said that the engagement is called off. All we know is that the Caldwells deleted all the pictures, and so did Kendra, off of the little Duggar family page. So, I don't know, maybe it's called off and they just don't want to talk about it. It's very hard for me to record a video at night in this house. I try to do it during the day. Everybody's got something to do at this hour. But, this is why I'm here now. Pay attention, Jana and Laura did something. You know they don't do anything, okay? So first of all, yesterday, Jana posted a story, and I'm fairly sure that I heard Laura's voice in the background. But that's neither here nor there, because we know that Laura hangs out in Arkansas, and it's no big deal. She's there at the big house all the time, and it's not my problem, and it's not my concern. What is my concern is today I go and I pop on her page, like I always do, and her bio has changed. Her bio has changed. It was glorious, okay? Her and Jana both changed their bios on the same day. And I gotta say, it's pretty interesting. I mean, we can go to Jana's first because Jana's is not quite as interesting, okay? So, Jana took a few things off of her bio. She used to have there that she was located in Tontitown, Arkansas. She took that out. Her second thing there was that she was a twin, a boy-girl twin. Took that out. Stocks down on twins. I guess that's not an important thing anymore. She also had the Bible verse Colossians 3 there. It's an entire chapter, and it's about what you should and should not do as a Christian. And I always thought it was an interesting choice for her to have it on there. And I think it's interesting that she took it off. So now it just says, home remodeler, gardening enthusiast, amateur cook, coffee lover, counting on TLC. Home remodeler I found the most interesting. So before she just used to have like a little picture of like some furniture and she used to have like design next to it, but now I think she's all in on this home remodeling thing. I kind of have like a working theory on this. She's been working a lot with James, and James has a company called J&J Services, and I don't know who the other J is in J&J Services, but I'm kind of thinking that maybe it was Justin. And now that Justin is going to move to Texas, which I'm pretty sure he's moving to Texas with the Spivey's, I'm pretty sure he's going to work for Claire's dad in Spivey Construction, and I'm pretty sure that's what he's been doing. That kind of left a hole open for somebody to work with James and to run that business with James, and I think that Jana and Laura have kind of moved into that venue, specifically Jana. So she's kind of all in on this home remodeling thing, and I'm kind of all in on it for her. I think that, I don't know, it's going to be a good way for her to venture into financial independence. It's going to be a good way for her to do her own thing. I'm proud of her. I'm happy for her. So I'm glad that she's kind of like embracing it and putting it in her profile now. So I do think that like, and the fact that she was putting like gardening enthusiast, amateur cook, coffee lover, like these are my hobbies. My hobbies are gardening, cooking, and drinking coffee. But my job, the first thing I'm putting in my profile is that I'm a home remodeler, and this is my business, and this is what I do. So I'm glad that she's owning up to it and kind of embracing it for what it is. Now, Laura, her profile is spicy. So she hardly changed anything. She changed two things, okay? One thing she changed at the bottom. It's a little quote that she used to have that said, the gospel changes everything, and it is changing me. And now it just says, Jesus changes everything. Which is true. It's better to keep it simple, I think. And yeah, I like that she changed it because it's not like she has to change. She doesn't. Jesus is the one that changes everything, and I just love it. I love that she changed it and she made it more simple, but she adds this to her profile. So it's always said, hi, I'm Laura. I travel a lot, design, and sometimes plan weddings on TV. And now she added ... And I've never lived in Georgia. I need to break this down because now I'm getting messages and people are like, I missed something. Why is this funny? She puts, and I've never lived in Georgia, peace sign. Guys, pay attention. This is important. About 2 years ago, Laura, it's about 2 years ago from this date, okay? So November of exactly 2 years ago, John and Abby get married, okay? December rolls around, the holidays, and then when January comes around of the following year of 2019, Laura heads over to Atlanta to work in the design market representing accent decor. And she's done lots of work for them over the years, but it's like seasonal work. So she's done the markets with them, like in Vegas and in Atlanta. And in Atlanta, it's like a showcase and they're like there for like a month. She did this in 2018. She also did this in 2019. But when she did in 2019, all these reports started coming out about how Jim Bob was trying to keep Laura away from Jana, trying to separate them, didn't like whatever was going on between them. So supposedly, this is what these articles said, that Jim Bob like relocated her, this grown woman, to Atlanta, like got her a job over there, and that's where she would be living, and so people to this day believe that she lives in Atlanta, Georgia. She's never lived in Atlanta, Georgia. Like, I always have to correct people on this. People are like, doesn't she live in Georgia? And I'm like, no, like she lives in Indiana, like first of all. Second of all, I mean, I know I'm not talking about a Duggar, but she's Duggar adjacent. Like, pay attention. This is very important. Whatever relates to Laura relates to Jana. So if you're staying on this train with me, I appreciate you, okay? I understand that you're like, but why? We're not talking about a Duggar. We kind of are, okay? So, listen. So people still to this day, like, they'll say it, that she lives in Georgia. But why now, 2 years later, are you putting this in your profile? Why are you throwing this shade to people who are uneducated and, like, why does it matter? Like, obviously everybody who knows you knows that you don't live in Georgia, right? Everybody who's important to you knows that. So why is this important, like, for people landing on your page to realize that, no, you've never lived in Georgia? I've got a couple working theories on this, but, like, do you think, like, she's tired of that, like, rumor that she got sent away? Do you think that she is defending Jim Bob here? Think about it. Bear with me, okay? So, like, this whole storyline is kind of predicated on the fact that Jim Bob does not approve of whatever's going on, and he's the one sending Laura away. So do you think that she's kind of like putting this to be like, no, Jim Bob's my boy, like, and he never sent me away. In fact, I'm still in Arkansas. Peace. She puts the peace sign. I love it, dude. I'm all in. I'm all in on this Laura. Look, Laura before used to throw a lot of shade online, and lately she's just been really quiet. And I think the sassy side is ready to come out again. And I appreciate it. Like, I appreciate it, dude. Like, listen, which brings me to my next point, okay? Like, I told you in the story yesterday that Jana is like, Jana has like her car battery thing. And like, I see Laura in the background. I hear her voice saying like, is the battery dead? We know she's there. Why haven't they posted pictures together when we know they're spending all of their time together? They're working together, okay? Why aren't they posting any pictures together? I do have kind of a theory. Like, maybe there's something that's gonna happen on the show. Like, think about it. We didn't know who Claire Spivey was for over 10 months while she was dating Justin. And something happened, right? Like, so they were like waiting on the green light from TLC. What if TLC is telling them like, don't post anything together? Like, I'm sure like, you know, Jeremy and Ginger weren't allowed to post things. Like, you know, like nobody was allowed to post a picture of Jeremy when he started hanging around. What's weird is that Laura's been hanging around for a long time. She's already been on the show. She's already been a character. We're already used to her. So why can't we know that she's in Arkansas? We already know that she's in Arkansas. Like, we've known that she's there a lot of the time. So I just wonder if TLC is a part of it, or if they're just tired of people speculating about every picture they post. Like, oh, look, there she is. I mean, but people are going to speculate either, because the absence of evidence is in and of itself evidence. Okay? So, just because she's not there, like, in a picture doesn't mean that we don't know that she's there. And there's nothing wrong with her being there. We're not saying that there's anything spicy about her being there. It's just we get excited because we're fans. We're Laura and Jana fans. That's the whole Instagram. It's like that's who we are. Like, we're fans of these people, so we just want to see pictures of them. We want to see them hanging out. It's like when we see the Duggar sisters together. It's like we know that they're together, but like when we see a picture of them, like we get hyped, right? Like when we see Jessa and Jill hanging out, like we know they're sisters. We just like to see them together. Like, we know that Jana and Laura are friends. We just want to see them together. It's no big deal, right? No. But those are my thoughts for today. Tell me what you think of the name of Angeline Joe, Evie Joe, Evie Joe. I would say Evie Joe to differentiate her from Evie May. But if they want to do Evie May and Evie Joe and Ivy Jane, I'm all about it. You can name your child whatever you want, and you do not have to be bullied out of a name that you like just because your little sister named her kid a similar name a few months ago. You can use whatever name you want because you're the mama. So, I have no problem with Evangeline Joe. I like it. I like it with Felicity Nicole. I still hope they use the name Temperance for their third daughter when they have her. Just saying. Okay. I love it, guys. I love it. I'm so happy the Patriots won 45-0. Have a good day, guys. Be blessed. Look up in your Bible Colossians 3 and tell me if you think that was a good choice for Jana to have in her profile and why she took it out. All right, guys. Have a good one. Until next time. Keep watching the Duggars. If you want to follow me, my Instagram is down below. Like, comment, share. Tell me if you want more of this content. I'm gonna make more of these videos and more sneaker videos this week. I promise if you're here for that too. All right, so have a good one, guys. Be blessed.